All right, guys. So let's talk a little bit about some advanced concealed carry stuff. All right. I think it's about time some of you start learning about this a little bit. Now, we have the 6-step draw from the concealed carry: one, two, three, four, five, and then six when we punch all the way out. Very, very basic stuff is to take your time. I'm not covering that here. We have good fundamentals, we have a good draw. Now, here's the things that you need to know to get yourself fractions of a second faster. And that ultimately is really the razor's edge for what sets people apart from having a great ability to gunfight versus people who have an ability to gunfight. And we start with something like this. When you do your drills, don't start from any stationary still stance like this. Start yourself from a loose kind of moving back and forth stance before the drill actually kicks off. And the reason why is because you're creating a sense of imbalance, but you're not being like one form of imbalance. So I'm not just standing here like this, falling. I'm moving back and forth, shifting the weight between my feet. I'm turning my body because I want to give myself the widest and largest amount of variance possible for how my physical stature is going to be when I hear that buzzer go off. And so I'm not saying do anything weird, but you definitely sit here, wave your body around back and forth, or if you can, on the range that you're on, you're walking and then you're kind of stopping. Imagine somebody yelling, making a loud noise. You're not just going to draw your gun whenever you hear something in public. But you'll stop, you probably like listen to it a little bit, and then so that's one way you can run the drill. You could run the drill traditionally whenever you're standing around like that, but that's going to cause a shift in weight in your balance. And so you'll be good at just getting your body ready and drawing your weapon out regardless of what position of imbalance your body is in at the time that the buzzer goes off or that the incident actually happens. Now the next thing, step 1, 2, 3, this is really where now we begin in the level 3, 4 type stuff. This is where we begin to technically potentially engage the bad guy. Now what happens here at this phase now is your trigger finger removes the trigger slack, but you're not actually pulling it unless you need to. You're keeping it flat to the deck, parallel to the ground. Okay, this highlights the importance of coming back to your weapon safety rules, and that never point the weapon at anything you're not willing to destroy. Especially if you've taken my class with me, I say keep it parallel to the deck, because you guys, it all builds up onto something new. You're not taught to do anything just to do it. I'm giving you guys instruction that's going to build up and compound later on into really true proficient skills. This is why people who've been shooting a while and they have an issue with how I tell them, hey, maybe you hold the gun or like this, or your grip does like that, or you keep it level like this. And they just have a natural, like, I know what I'm doing. I've been handling a gun for a long time. Cool. I bet you do. But if you want to become like a truly professionally capable one, you can, because all it requires is a baseline of competence. But what it also requires is the ability to just blindly follow instruction until you understand the point in the lesson that's being conducted, which you will at some point anyways. So just do what you're told and take the advice, and then it compounds. So when you get to this level, you don't make stupid mistakes. So for example, going back to the concealed carry draw, when we actually begin to engage a potential threat. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I chicken wing towards this bad guy, look at my trigger finger. But the slack is gone. I'm not pulling it back. 5, 6. By the time I'm actually fully extended, this trigger is going off. Basically in the last 2% of my extension, that trigger is going off. Again, it can potentially go off here if that's what the drill calls for, the situation calls for, because think of close engagement. So most concealed carry engagements start less than 5 feet from one another. So if I need to push you off of me because you're so close, or you grab me even, or you're grabbing me, and I'm trying to fight you off of me. Now, with that being said, you need to have great fundamentals, because to do this and to not pull that trigger, especially in a high stress situation, and then to immediately get your trigger finger discipline back in order, that requires a very serious level of proficiency, guys. And this is why this is a very advanced technique. These are the things that I do not talk with you all about regularly, because this, take it seriously, is what will get you hurt or killed. Do not be sitting there on a live fire range. Don't even be dry firing this stuff at any sort of rate of speed other than and then practice fully extending and not pulling that trigger. Try it a few times slow. If you guys upload something in the community, cool. I will check it out. I will talk to you about it. I will give you coaching and guidance. We could work upon that out at the range. But guys, do not get ahead of yourself when it comes to this one. To have the ability to quickly draw your weapon and to put your finger on that trigger to remove that trigger slack. And then also keep in mind, guys, I'm dead fucking on target. So not only to do that with your trigger finger and that slack while fully extending in a mobile variable environment, but to also get in good sight aim, like good sight aim. Well, really it's just sight picture at that point, because so my optic is out on this gun and I'm actually interested to shoot it this weekend, because my red dot went out and I've been using my iron sights, and all I'm doing is just looking where I want the bullets to go. And those are always my best shots. The one I literally just look, that's where I want the bullet to go, and then I shoot that. And so to have that type of muscle memory built in, like right now, if I close my eye and I aim in, so after I'm fully extended, both eyes are open, I close my eye, my front sight tip is literally dead center every time on these rear sights, because I've done enough proper repetitions at the slowest pace imaginable. And if any deviation is made, it's super, super minimal. And this is literally just from and then I'll actually even remove that slack even more. So now I'm actually in the trigger pull. But I'm not actually setting that gun off. Look at these drills over and over and over again. Just running them like that over and over and over and over and over again. And then get into the dry firing piece. So, what are the key lessons to take away from this dry fire session? One, when you get to the advanced level, this is when you begin to bring your trigger finger down so you could potentially engage whatever threat it is that you happen to be dealing with. Two, have the ability to fully extend all the way out with 90% accuracy. We'll just put a number on it. And literally just look to see where you want the bullets to go while removing the trigger slack in its entirety, and then start to actually remove the actual trigger pull itself. Start to pull on that. Then run some slow dry fire drills, so when you're at the point of fully extending outwards, trigger slacks removed, fully extending outward to a grip. You guys see that last little pump right there? That is when that weapon, in theory, should be going off. I mean, you could do it like this, boom, boom, boom. But on a smaller concealed carry handgun like this, what I've noticed is that, for me at least, If I shoot from here, boom, 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 and then I go tracing up. So once from here, drop the clothing, which is the 4 position, marry up, boom, once from here, which is the 5 position, all the way out here, boom, which is fully extended. That's the 6th position when it comes to that concealed carry draw. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how you should have your trigger finger discipline. Punching all the way out is when you should be hitting that target. Do not work on these close range shots, guys, without supervision, because I guarantee you will take it too fast. And you will, it's just very high likelihood that you will end up hurting yourself or somebody else. I cannot stress that enough. So enough warnings have been said. Put your videos in the community thing. I'll comment on it, and then let me know whatever questions you guys have. And yeah, we'll see if it gets there.